Hi everyone, welcome to English class. Today we are going to deal with the chapter 2 of grade 8, and the title of our chapter is The Tsunami. So we have to know what tsunami is. Tsunami is a very large and powerful wave caused by earthquake under the sea. Okay, so when earthquake happens under the sea, the tsunami occurs. So not only earthquakes, it can be caused by powerful volcanic eruptions, landslides, or simply an asteroid or a meteor crashes inside the ocean. Okay, so an earthquake is not only the reason for tsunami. There can be volcanic eruptions inside the sea or landslides, or simply if an asteroid or a meteor comes and crash inside the sea, the tsunami can happen. A tsunami has a very large long wavelength. It can be hundreds of kilometers long. Usually a tsunami starts suddenly. So in this chapter it is described the tsunami waves and how the tsunami came and affected the lives of many people. Okay, so on 26 December 2004, a tsunami hit Thailand and parts of India such as Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Tamil Nadu coast. Here are some stories of courage and survival. So, this chapter just tells us the stories of courage and survival. The people who survived after tsunami, okay, they are just narrating their experience. And another thing is, did the animals sense that a tsunami was coming? Some stories suggest that they did. Whether tsunami waves have hit animal population also, or did they sense the tsunami earlier? Like that queries, that topic is also discussed in this chapter. Okay, so let's move on to the first part. These stories are all from Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. So, what is archipelago? Archipelago means a group of many islands and the surrounding sea. So, in this chapter, we can find mainly the stories or the problems which the people had to face when tsunami hit the areas of Andaman and Nicobar Island. Okay. So, moving on to the first incident. This incident is explained by Ignatius. Okay, so we'll see how his life has changed after the tsunami. Ignatius was the manager of cooperative society in Kachal. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. because she felt an earthquake. Ignatius carefully took his television set off its table and put it down on the ground so that it would not fall and break. Then the family rushed out of the house. So Ignatius, who was working as a manager in Kachal, he was woken. Okay, he was waken up by his wife, and she is telling him that she could feel some earthquake. Okay, so what did he do first? He just took his television and kept it down because he didn't want his television to fall down and break. Okay, then the whole family rushed out of the house. Then what happened? When the turmoil stopped, they saw the sea rising. In the chaos and confusion, two of his children caught hold of the hands of their mother's father and mother's brother and rushed in the opposite direction. He never saw them again. His wife was also swept away. Only the three other children who came with him were saved. So Ignatius' family was badly affected by tsunami because when the turmoil stopped, when the earthquake stopped, then the sea was rising. Okay, and everyone were in utter confusion. Everything has become a disorder. So what did the two of his children do? They went and they hold the hands of their mother's father, that is their grandfather, and mother's brother, that is their uncle. Okay, they hold the hands of their uncle and grandfather, and they just ran in one direction. Ignatius with his the rest of the children ran in another direction, but at last he could find that his wife was also swept away by the waves. Okay, and his father-in-law, brother-in-law, everyone lost their life by the tsunami. Okay, the tsunami took them away. So that's it. That's the life of Ignatius. Now let's move on to the next person, that is Sanjeev. Sanjeev was a policeman serving in the Kachal Island of Nicobar group of islands. He somehow managed to save himself, his wife, and his baby daughter from the waves. But then he heard the cries for help from the wife of John, the guest house cook. Sanjeev jumped into the water and rescued her, but they were both swept away. So that is also a sad story of Sanjeev. He was a policeman. What did he do? He just saved his wife and his baby. Then, as he was moving, he heard the cries of his cook, guest house cook, John's wife. So he just jumped into the water and tried to rescue her. Rescue, the meaning is save her. Okay. But unfortunately, they both were swept away. Next is the experience of a 13-year-old Meghna. She was also swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. She spent 2 days floating in the sea, holding a wooden door. 11 times she saw the relief helicopters overhead, but they did not see her. She was brought to shore by a wave, and was found walking on the seashore in a daze. So that is the experience of Meghna. She was also swept away in the water, and she spent 2 days floating in the sea, but no one noticed her. She got hold on a wooden door and she just started floating, and the relief helicopters came that way. They did not notice her. Okay, and she was not noticed by any relief helicopter. And one day, that is after 2 days, she was brought to shore by a wave itself. Okay, so a wave helped her. So she was brought to shore by a wave, and she was walking in a daze. Then comes the experience of Almas Javed. Almas Javed was 10 years old. She was a student of Carmel Convent in Port Blair, where her father had a petrol pump. Her mother, Rahila's home was in Nankauri Island. The family had gone there to celebrate the Christmas. So Almas Javed came to Nankauri Island to celebrate Christmas. When the Termos came early in the morning, the family was sleeping. Almas saw the seawater recede. He understood that the water would come rushing back with great force. He woke everyone up and tried to rush them to a safer place. Okay, so Almas, who came to enjoy this Christmas, so you know the date, it is after Christmas Day, that is December 26. Okay, so in the morning, Almas' father saw the sea water was receding. Receding means moving back. It is moving back to come with a great force. Okay, and he understood something bad is going to happen. Okay, कुछ गलत होने वाला है वो समझ गया. And he just knew everything, so he just woke up everyone and they tried to rush to a safer place. As they ran, her grandfather was hit on the head by something and he fell down. Her father rushed to help him. Then came the first giant wave that swept both of them away. So as they were running, grandfather fell down and her father, that is Alma's father, went to help him. But the first giant wave, the big huge wave, वो बड़ा wave आकर उन दोनों को ले गए. Okay. Then Alma's mother and aunt stood clinging to the leaves of coconut tree, calling out to her. The wave uprooted the tree and they were too washed away. So that is the next one. Alma's mother and her relative aunts, they were holding a coconut tree and standing there, but the wave came, such a great force of that wave came, and it uprooted the tree. Root se le gaya. Okay, it uprooted the tree and they were washed away. Alma saw a log of wood floating. She climbed on it. Then she fainted. When she woke up, she was in hospital in Camorta. From there, she was brought to Port Blair. Okay, so when she just could hold a log of wood and she was floating, then she became unconscious. When she became conscious, she was in a hospital in Camrota, that is in Nankauri itself. Then she was brought to Port Blair. The little girl does not want to talk about the incident with anyone. She is still traumatized. Okay, so she is still in great shock and depressed. So she don't want to share her experience with anyone. So that's the end of the part 1 of chapter 2. Okay, thank you.